Welcome to Hungry Horizons, people. We all know that feeling. The days are getting shorter, the nights are drawing in, and you just want something warm and comforting to chase away the chill. Well, you're in luck, because today we're going on a foodie journey to explore 10 of the most delicious and comforting dishes from around the world. Forget that soggy takeaway rubbish you're used to. So get your knives sharpened, your aprons on, and let's get cooking. We're about to dive into a world of culinary delights that will leave your taste buds happy and your belly full. First up, we're heading east to Japan, the land of the rising sun and some of the most incredible food on the planet. And when it comes to comfort food, it doesn't get much better than a steaming bowl of ramen. This isn't your college dorm room instant noodles, folks. We're talking about a rich, flavorful broth, simmered for hours to extract every last drop of flavor. You can choose from a variety of bases: soy sauce, miso, or my personal favorite, the rich and creamy tonkotsu, made with pork bones. Next comes the noodles, perfectly cooked and springy, ready to soak up all that incredible flavor. Think tender slices of pork belly, soft boiled eggs with sumptuous runny yolks, and a sprinkle of fresh green onions for a bit of bite. Ramen is more than just a meal in Japan, it's an experience. Next, we're popping over to the UK for a taste of pure comfort food heaven, shepherd's pie. This is the kind of dish that grandmas are famous for: hearty, filling, and bursting with flavor. We start with a layer of minced lamb, browned and then simmered in a rich gravy with onions, carrots, and peas. Some folks like to add a splash of Worcestershire sauce or a dash of herbs for an extra kick. Now, for the best part, the mashed potato topping. We're talking about creamy, buttery mashed potatoes, seasoned perfectly and piled high on top of the lamb mixture. Pop under the grill to crust up the top a little, and even add a handful of grated cheddar till bubbling if you like. One bite of this, and you'll be transported back to your childhood, sitting by the fire with a warm feeling in your belly. Now we're heading over to the Americas for a taste of something spicy and satisfying: chili con carne. Whether you prefer it Texan style or with a Mexican twist, one thing's for sure: this dish is a flavor explosion. We begin with ground beef, browned until it's nice and crispy. Then we add the holy trinity of chili, onions, garlic, and peppers. And don't be shy with the spices: cumin, paprika, chili powder. Let's give it some heat. Some recipes add tomatoes and beans here, but that's up to you. Let it all simmer together until it's thick, rich, and bursting with flavor. Serve it up with a dollop of sour cream, some grated cheese, and a sprinkle of fresh cilantro for a cool and refreshing contrast. Let's hop over to Hungary now for a taste of goulash, a rich and hearty stew that's sure to warm you up on a cold winter's night. The key to a good goulash is using good quality beef, cut into chunks and browned until it's beautifully caramelized. Then we add a generous amount of paprika, the heart and soul of Hungarian cuisine. Next, we add onions, garlic, and a selection of root vegetables like carrots, potatoes, and maybe even some parsnips. Let it all simmer away on a low heat for at least a couple of hours, allowing the flavors to meld and deepen. Serve it up with a dollop of sour cream or yogurt for a touch of freshness, and a side of crusty bread for mopping up every last drop of that delicious sauce. Now, we're off to Italy for a taste of pure indulgence risotto. This creamy, dreamy rice dish is the epitome of comfort food, and it's surprisingly easy to make at home. The secret to a good risotto is using the right type of rice. Arborio or carnaroli are ideal, as they have a high starch content that gives the risotto its signature creamy texture. We start by toasting the rice in butter or olive oil until it's translucent. Then we add hot stock, a ladleful at a time, stirring constantly until it's absorbed. You can flavor your risotto with just about anything you like: mushrooms, seafood, vegetables. The possibilities are endless. Just before serving, stir in a knob of butter and a generous grating of Parmesan cheese for the ultimate indulgence. Let's take a trip to Poland now, where we're about to discover the ultimate comfort food, pierogi. These little dumplings are like edible hugs, filled with a variety of delicious ingredients and cooked till they're just right. The dough for pierogi is simple to make, using just flour, water, and sometimes an egg. It's all about working the dough until it's smooth and elastic, then rolling it out thinly and cutting out circles. Traditional fillings include mashed potatoes with cheese, sauerkraut, mushrooms, or even minced meat. Once the pierogi are filled, They're boiled until they float to the surface, then often pan-fried in butter until they're golden brown and crispy. Serve them up with a dollop of sour cream, some fried onions, and a sprinkle of fresh herbs for a truly comforting and delicious meal. Next, we're jetting off to Greece for a taste of moussaka, a layered masterpiece that's bursting with Mediterranean flavors. This dish is all about combining fresh ingredients and bold spices to create a truly satisfying meal. We begin with layers of thinly sliced eggplant, fried until golden brown and crispy. Then, we add a layer of ground lamb or beef, browned with onions, garlic, and a blend of warming spices like cinnamon, nutmeg, and oregano. Tomatoes and red wine add depth and richness to the meat sauce. Now, for the star of the show, the creamy bechamel sauce. It's poured over the meat and eggplant mixture and baked in the oven until golden brown and bubbling. Moussaka is best served hot, cut into squares and enjoyed with a simple salad and a glass of Greek wine. Get ready to indulge, because we're heading to Canada for a taste of their national treasure, poutine. This dish is not for the faint of heart. It's a glorious combination of crispy fries, cheese curds, and rich gravy. The foundation of any good poutine is a generous portion of crispy French fries. Next, come the cheese curds. These little nuggets of cheesy goodness are what make poutine so special. Finally, we smother everything in a hot, savory gravy. It should be thick enough to coat the fries and cheese curds, but not so thick that it's gloopy. Some people like their gravy smooth, while others prefer it with chunks of meat. The choice is yours. Next stop, Eastern Europe, where we're about to delve into a bowl of vibrant borscht. The star of the show is, of course, beetroot. We roast it until tender, then grate it or blend it into the soup, giving it that gorgeous deep red hue. Along with beetroot, we add a medley of vegetables like cabbage, carrots, potatoes, and onions, creating a blend of flavors and textures. A good borscht is all about balance. The sweetness of the beetroot is tempered by the acidity of tomatoes, while a touch of vinegar or lemon juice adds brightness. Whether you enjoy it hot or cold, borscht is a truly satisfying and comforting soup that's ideal for any time of year. Last but not least, we're finishing our food journey in Vietnam with a taste of pho. This fragrant noodle soup is a symphony of flavors and textures, and it's the perfect way to warm up on a chilly evening. The heart and soul of pho is the broth. It's traditionally made by simmering beef or chicken bones for hours with ginger, onions, star anise, cloves, and cinnamon, creating a deeply aromatic and flavorful base. Next, we add rice noodles, cooked until they're tender and slippery. Finally, we pile on the fresh toppings: bean sprouts, Thai basil, cilantro, lime wedges, and chili peppers. These toppings add a wonderful freshness and crunch to the soup, and allow you to customize your bowl to your liking. So, there you have it. 10 of the most comforting and delicious dishes from around the world. Now it's your turn to get cooking. Don't be afraid to experiment with these recipes, adding your own personal touch and making them your own. Remember, the most important ingredient in any comfort food is love, so gather your loved ones, put on your aprons, and get cooking. And most importantly, enjoy every last bite. And finally, if you like this sort of content, join the flavor expedition. Don't miss a bite. Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for a seat at our table. Let's explore new tastes together on Hungry Horizons.